Studios here at number 5 Owula Hansen Lane in Tesano, Accra. I am Nanatu Boateng. Many thanks for your time this morning. We're going to go straight into it. Quite a disturbing story that came out yesterday, where somewhere in Achimwenchi in the Denchambor district, we understand a mining pit has collapsed, caved in. About 20 persons still trapped in there. 4 people confirmed dead. Quite disturbing, quite worrying. However, the most disgusting part of all this is that rescue efforts were being thwarted. I listened to the DCE for the area, and his concern was that the youth of the area were thwarting rescue efforts. And it beats my imagination where you're doing something illegal, okay? Because the law or the state has failed to crack down on these people, it's emboldened them enough to think that even when there is a disaster, when there's an incident that requires authorities to act, they can do what they like. It's so much impunity and it's nauseating. We need to crack the whip on these people and do something about it now. That your colleagues with whom you engage in this mining, whether legal or illegal, which I suspect heavily is illegal, are trapped in a pit. Authorities are doing their best to rescue them. And you think that you are some gangalia or you are what's in the area, so you can thwart the effort. For what purpose? What are you hiding in that pit? For which reason you don't want the authorities to go there to rescue your colleagues? What could be in there? What are you protecting? What are you hiding? It's quite disturbing. And I think the DCE should have just ordered the arrest of all these young men and have the police pick them up so that the rescue efforts could continue. Even to the extent that you vandalized the DCE's car. I understand that he drives a pickup vehicle and his windows were shattered. Where are we going as a country? Why are we doing this to ourselves? That an unfortunate incident such as the caving in of a mining pit, trapping over 20 people, 4 being reported dead, and there are rescue efforts by authorities, and you think that the area belongs to you, you are the king or the chief of the area, and so you do as you please. The bigger question we should be asking is, what exactly are they hiding in that pit? For which reason they do not want the authorities to go in there to rescue the people trapped in there? Maybe we should get serious. Maybe we should toughen up. Maybe we should have some bold leadership regarding this issue of illegal mining and, of course, its excesses, including the collapse of mining pits that continuously takes the lives of individuals in this country. Peace. Shalom. All right. Now, are you a JHS student between the age of 11 and 15 years? Are you interested minds and hearts all the way to the top? Then this is the best opportunity for you. The Literacy Challenge is back. It's on. It is live. And you should be part of it. This year, our topic is quite simple. In not less than 600 words, discuss the effects of climate change on agriculture in Ghana. What challenges do these effects create for individuals, families, communities, and the nation? Suggest practical solutions to help all Ghanaians mitigate these challenges. Now, this is the format in which your script should be. Your script must be in your own handwriting. And please take note, the script must be in your own handwriting. The script must be endorsed by a parent or guardian. Script must be endorsed by a parent or guardian, and you need to add your full contact details. Okay? The deadline for submission of entries is Saturday, the 26th of July, 2025. And so after July 26th, we will not be receiving any more entries. Do your best to submit your entries on or before the 26th of July so you can be a part of the Literacy Challenge. Now, here's how you can submit your entries. You can walk to our front desk at Dabraka, that's 97.3 City FM, and drop it off there. Or you can come to Tesano, ChannelOne TV here in Accra, and drop off your entry here. But you can also mail it via post. That's to the Literacy Challenge. The Literacy Challenge, P.O. Box GP 14123. P.O. Box GP 14123, Accra Central. That's how you can mail it to us via post. Now, if you need more information, call us on 0205 973 973. 0205 973 973. Remember that the Literacy Challenge is brought to you by ChannelOne TV with support from 97.3 City FM and is sponsored proudly by Belmu as well as GB Assessment. We say thank you to Belmu, thank you to GB Assessment for being part of the Literacy Challenge 2025. You get to walk away with 10,000 Ghana cedis, a trophy, and the bragging rights as the most outstanding all-round junior high school student for the year 2025. And so don't forget that the deadline for submission is July 26, which is a Saturday, 2025, on or before then, because after July 26, we will not receive any more submissions. Do your best to send your submissions in. Let's see who gets the bragging rights, who takes away the 10,000, and who gets to carry the trophy for the Literacy Challenge 2025. That said, on Sundays at 6:30 p.m., we bring you the Volunteers TV show. Your host, Stephen Kwekudako, will be engaging some experienced people who have been doing the volunteer work for a while. They will be sharing their experiences on when, why, how, and where you can do volunteer work, or you can participate in volunteerism, or even how you can also come up with your own volunteer ideas. And so be part of the show. It's at 6:30 p.m. every Sunday here on ChannelOne TV with your host, Stephen Kwekudako. All right, now let's make life easy for ourselves, okay? Go onto the Google Play Store, where you can download the ChannelOne News app, and you can get all the updates, all the 411, all the current affairs, all the real-time stories on the ChannelOne News app. Okay, the stories are spanning current affairs, politics, entertainment, business, sports, lifestyle, showbiz, just name it. Download the ChannelOne News app, and you can have access to all of these offerings on the app. Quite easy, quite simple. Just go onto the Google Play Store, look up ChannelOne News app, and download it, install it, and voila, you are as current as the app is. Okay, thank you for staying with us. This is still Breakfast Daily. We're going into the newspapers now. I'll start off today with the Ghanaian Times. Front page has a picture of the Energy and Green Transition Minister, John Abdullahi Jinapo, and he says, no power outages. No power outages. That's according to the Energy Minister. Fight against illegal mining given impetus. AG directs IOCO to investigate individuals involved. Fight against illegal mining given impetus. AG directs IOCO to investigate individuals involved. Ketia Market Project. Give displaced traders first. President Mahama directs. On the matter of the Ketia Market Project, President Mahama is directing that displaced traders should be given stalls or shops first. CEO of Adamus Resources Limited denies fraud allegation. CEO of Adamus Resources Limited denies fraud allegation. And then when you go to the back page, it says no teacher should retire homeless. That's according to the sector minister Haruna Idrisu. No teacher should retire homeless, attributed to Haruna Idrisu. BH Fetrago Prisons partner to boost inmate farming skills. BH Fetrago Prisons partner to boost inmate farming skills. That's the Ghanaian Times for today. Let's get into the Chronicle. What's the Chronicle saying? Fuel prices shoot up as Dumso levy kicks in. Fuel prices shoots up as Dumso levy kicks in, and then it gives you a breakdown of how some of the OMCs are selling. Makes reference to Shell Ghana and Goil Ghana. All right. NPP bigwigs condemn top-down flag-bearer election plan. NPP bigwigs condemn top-down flag-bearer election plan. Then you have child custody blues. Father wants Baba Sam jailed. Child custody blues. Father wants Baba Sam jailed. Iyoko ordered to probe Yamin. Frimpong Boateng report. Iyoko ordered to probe Yamin and Frimpong Boateng report. Adamus Resources Limited flatly rejects baseless campaign against company. Adamus Resources Limited flatly rejects baseless campaign against company. Scripture for the day is from Galatians 6:8. Whoever sows to please their flesh, from the flesh will reap destruction. Whoever sows to please their flesh, from the flesh will reap destruction. That's the Chronicle newspaper. Let's get into the daily guide, shall we? NDC bigwigs hot over Galamsey. NDC bigwigs hot over Galamsey. And this is in reference to the Attorney General's letter to Iyoko to investigate Joseph Yamin and Yakubu Abanga over allegations of engaging in illegal mining and, of course, behind some illegal task force. All right. Other stories on the front page of the Daily Guide. Parliament passes fisheries bill. Parliament passes fisheries bill. 2 arrested for posing as Gold Board task force. 2 arrested for posing as Gold Board task force. Igbo community disowns so-called king. Igbo community disowns so-called king. And you have Gali calls for open access to law. Gali calls for open access to law. That's the Daily Guide newspaper for this morning. The New Republic says Angela List in $100,000 cash for gold storm. Angela List in $100,000 cash for gold storm. NDC bigwigs caught in Galamsey crosshairs. Iyoko launches probe. NDC bigwigs caught in Galamsey crosshairs. Iyoko launches probe. NPP government squanders $227 million on scandalous ECG contracts. NPP government squanders $227 million on scandalous ECG contracts. Cocktail of scandals hit Agrada. Cocktail of scandals hit Agrada. Shut up, I bailed you. Brian Achampong arrogantly cuts Wontumi down to size at NPP meeting. Shut up, I bailed you. Brian Achampong arrogantly cuts Wontumi down to size at NPP meeting. That's what the New Republic is saying. Let's check out the Daybreak newspaper. What's the Daybreak newspaper saying? It says, child custody row. Baba boyfriend flee with child. The story is gaining too many legs. It should be dealt with by the court. Anyway, NACOC scanners break down at KIA. Ghana link to the rescue. NACOC scanners break down at KIA. Ghana link to the rescue. OSP declares Ofriata's chef de cabinet wanted. OSP declares Ofriata's chef de cabinet wanted. Vice President's residence hosted Kevin Taylor after secret arrival, Adomochre alleges. Vice President's residence hosted Kevin Taylor after secret arrival, Adomochre alleges. Tema Police, GPHA strategize for 24-hour business. Tema Police and the GPHA strategize for 24-hour business. Time to take you online now. We'll start off with ChannelOneNews.com. Ex-NPA CEO Mustafa Hamid, 9 others charged in 280 million CD corruption case. The OSP has issued a statement and is charging the former Chief Executive Officer of the National Petroleum Authority, NPA, Mustafa Abdul Hamid, some 6 other individuals and 3 companies for their involvement allegedly in a 280 million CD corruption case. We'll be keeping an eye on this to find out how it pans out. But let's bring you some other stories. EduWatch says Ghana's scholarship scheme serves political elite, not public. Ghana's scholarship scheme serves political elite, and not public. That's according to EduWatch. Kofi Asare, who is the Executive Director of Africa Education Watch, sat with Bernard Avle on the Point of View show last night here on ChannelOne TV. Government directs Ghana Gas to cut spending and refocus on core mandate. Government directs Ghana Gas to cut spending and refocus on core mandate. From school fees to flirtation, prank calls overwhelm Ghana National Fire Service emergency lines. We like concerts in this country. We are calling the emergency line to flirt. Hey, of all the problems in this country, this is what you choose to engage in. From school fees to flirtation, prank calls overwhelm Ghana National Fire Service emergency lines. Arocha welcomes Iyoko Galamsey probe, warns against cover-up. Arocha welcomes Iyoko Galamsey probe, warns against cover-up. All right, let's do some other stories. Trotro driver arrested for crashing into Akufo-Addo's Nima residence wall. We understand last night a Trotro driver crashed into the wall of the former president's Nima residence, breaking a section of his wall. Other stories say NEDCO embarks on revenue mobilization exercise in Bono region. NEDCO embarks on revenue mobilization exercise in Bono region. Fuel levy to cover revenue shortfall, not energy sector debt. That's according to Opon Nkrumah. Fuel levy to cover revenue shortfall, not energy sector debt. As a member of parliament for Fuasia Yerebi, Kojo Opon Nkrumah speaking there. OSP declares former finance ministry advisor wanted over SML probe. Ernest Dakun Akore has been declared wanted by the office of the special prosecutor. We understand that he secured a warrant for his arrest from the court. And so he's published same, declaring him wanted to answer some questions regarding the probe into that revenue assurance deal between the GRA and SML. I'll avail myself when invited for Galamsey probe. As a vice chair of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, Abanga speaking there. Biggest joke of the day, Hanna Bisiw mocks minorities' call for her dismissal. Biggest joke of the day, Hanna Bisiw mocks minorities' call for her dismissal. And when you go to Achimwenchi, 4 feared dead, 20 trapped in Galamsey pit collapse. 4 feared dead, 20 trapped in Galamsey pit collapse. That's happened in Achimwenchi in the Denchemboa district of the Eastern region. Police arrest 2 for posing as Gold Board task force members. People are brave. Police arrest 2 for posing as Gold Board task force members. Now let me take you to citynewsroom.com. What's on citynewsroom.com? Let's see. OSP charges Mustafa Hamid, 9 others in 280 million CD scandal. OSP charges Mustafa Hamid and 9 others in 280 million CD scandal. Other stories, GSS to businesses, cut prices, innovate and pass savings to consumers. GSS, that's the Ghana Statistical Service, to businesses, cut prices, innovate and pass savings to consumers. Kwachi Ofosu dismisses minorities' call for probe into Ablekuma North violence. Kwachi Ofosu dismisses minorities' call for probe into Ablekuma North violence. Police seize over 400 boxes of tramadol in Tamale drug bust. Police seize over 400 boxes of tramadol in Tamale drug bust. Fitch expects policy rates to hold at 28% as BOG convenes emergency meeting today. Abolishing teacher licensure exams would be a disaster. That's according to Kofi Asare of EduWatch. Abolishing teacher licensure exams would be a disaster. Trotro driver arrested for crashing into wall at Akufo-Addo's Nima residence. Trotro driver arrested after crashing into wall at Akufo-Addo's Nima residence. I'll resign if found guilty of Galamsey allegations. I find this statement funny. Now, if you are found guilty, you are going to jail. So automatically you have resigned. So, I mean, don't come and tell us you resign if you are found guilty. If you are found guilty, automatically you have to resign. We will jail you. So, what is our resigning found guilty? Anyways, OSP declares former Finance Ministry Technical Advisor wanted. OSP declares former Finance Ministry Technical Advisor wanted. Same Abanga, a vice chair of the NDC here again speaking, says, I've never engaged in Galamsey activities. I've never engaged in Galamsey activities. Might be trivial, but sometimes maybe if some of these things are going on, God should just come down and expose whatever it is, whether there's any truth in it or if it's a lie. You understand? Maybe God should just give us some writings on the wall. And then we'll see. Because the way they speak boldly, and then last hour you hear that they are begging in some courts. But it is well. There's an investigation ongoing, so hopefully we'll get to know the findings thereof. All right, I'll bring your final round from citynewsroom.com. Ablekuma North calls for my removal a big joke. That's Hanna Bisiw Kote speaking there. She says calls for her removal by the minority is a big joke. Yesterday, the minority in Parliament called for the removal of Hanna Bisiw Kote and Malik Basintali for what they say is an alleged endorsement of the violence that occurred in Ablekuma North during the rerun of some 19 polling stations in that constituency. All right, so go online, okay? Find time to go to citynewsroom.com as well as ChannelOneNews.com. And of course, you can download the Channel One News app and you can get all the 411, all the news, bring you up to speed, up to date, stay current with all the information on the Channel One News app. But let me quickly do a scan through the Daily Graphic. Daily Graphic newspaper says, families want state support for autism care. GT Bank's efforts commended. Monday workshop focuses on inclusion and acceptance. Over 227.6 million US dollars ECG contracts terminated. That's according to the Energy Minister, John Jinapor. Mustafa Hamid, 9 others charged for extorting 280 million cedis from oil companies. Teacher licensure exam faces out August 30. And then when you go to the back page, Greater Accra Lands Commission Board urged to sanitize land administration. And then First Bank Ghana Women's Network mentors Ula SHS students. So that's the Daily Graphic newspaper for this morning. Like I said, find time to go to citynewsroom.com. Find time to surf ChannelOneNews.com for all your relevant news, current and up to date. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel One TV. Stay with us. We'll be right back with a news review segment. Hanna it's now time for the news review segment where we get to engage our guests, our panelists on various topical issues that dominate the news cycle. We bring you different perspectives to these matters. And then, of course, you also get to be a part of the show, which is very interactive. And so we'd like for you to join us on our socials. We're live on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on X. You can tweet at us with the hashtag Breakfast Daily. Well, you can send your comments also via the WhatsApp number on your screens. Let us know your thoughts, your comments, your contributions, and of course, your suggestions to the show. Send them in, and then we'll do our best to read them out on the show. All right. This morning, I am seated with a former regional minister for the Eastern region, and of course, a former member of parliament for Mprayeso. The Honorable Seth Champon is here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
It's good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So we'll dive straight into it and start off from Parliament. But Parliament is speaking about Ablekuma North and that parliamentary rerun, which we saw on Friday, the 11th of July, and the chaos that characterized what would have otherwise been quite a simple exercise. Go vote, go home, allow party agents and EC officials do their collation and make a declaration thereafter. However, we saw an invasion of some well-built men who engaged in some, if you like, some violence. We saw a former minister of state, a former member of parliament attacked and assaulted. And then, of course, we saw some party officials, including the deputy organizer for the New Patriotic Party. Then our own, of course, journalists were attacked as well. We saw a policeman slap a journalist with the EIB network. We saw a reporter from Joy News also being attacked by some of these men. Well, the minority in Parliament has spoken to the issue, demanding the dismissal of some government appointees, namely Louisa Hanna Bisiw and Malik Basintali, for what appears to be their alleged endorsement of this violence. Hanna Bisiw has responded, calling it the biggest joke of the century that the minority will call for her head in such a matter. I'll go straight to the Honorable Sete Champong and pick his initial thoughts on the violence on the day of the election and, of course, the position of the minority vis-a-vis the response from Hanna Bisiw.
Hanna, good morning once again.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning to everybody watching us. I have always condemned, and I'll sit here this morning to condemn again violence. Democracy is not violence. Democracy is how I am able to also speak up my concerns, and through that expression, make it abundantly clear that this is our practice,
right,
and this is how we have to hold the practice. For me, I believe in my heart of hearts that what happened last week was poor, and it did not add to the dispensation we are in and our experience so far.
Right.
Because I believe that post we enacting the vigilante law and witnessing Techiman South, we have not had such actions characterizing our previous by-elections with run. I say this with emphasis. We had run Asin North, we had run Kumewu, and both were contested by the two leading political parties. NDC winning Asin North and NPP winning Kumewu. My interest is how, when we had spoken against the rerun, and I'm speaking from the basis that when the EC had already organized a meeting to collate the results post the 2024 elections, they were beaten and ransacked. Footages from their CCTV cameras captured people who were the corporates who had acted in that event. Nothing happened to them. I haven't heard anything from the police how they had prosecuted those people.
Right.
So for me, it was one of the reasons why I was against a rerun.
Right.
Knowing the turnout and the events that occurred in the 2024 elections, I didn't want a situation where this beautiful democracy we are enjoying, which is offering me the opportunity to sit across with you this way and express myself. I didn't want it to be marred by that behavior. And so if we don't do it, then we don't do it. Now, EC comes back. That's why I had to go after EC, and tells me that this time around, the police who could not offer them protection to do the coalition and further declare the results is now convincing them that they should go. That was just 3 polling stations. They should go and run 19 polling stations, and they will give them protection. And so that is it. So my worry is, what pre-deployment arrangements did the Ghana Police Service do? Because you see, elections in this country are governed in security sense by the Ghana Police Service. It is not for nothing. That is why the Inspector General of Police chairs the National Election Security Task Force. So if the police, who is a civil police, will not be able to provide the necessary protections, we are going in a negative direction.
Right.
And I say this because I have witnessed more than the recent by-elections we've attended. I was in Nkranza North. I had been in Fomena. I've been in Chiriponi when my colleague, when I first entered Parliament, Doris Seydu, the late Honorable, died in Chiriponi. I was in Chiriponi for the Chiriponi by-election. That brought a young man, a very decent young man from NDC to Parliament. And I've witnessed talency. I've witnessed, even prior to my going into Parliament, Ablekuma Central, not Ablekuma North, Ablekuma Central. We've had it before. We've had by-elections in Ayawaso West Wogon. We've seen. And post Ayawaso West Wogon, we said no. Let us disband these groups that everybody is trying to create and make a law that will help us, because the dispensation allows us to govern ourselves under rules. And so I had a lot of faith that post Ayawaso West Wogon and the things we're going to do, we'll not encounter some of these things again. But to the contrary, and my pain, when people say women are their own enemies, sometimes being a former chairperson to a gender committee in Parliament and staying on the committee for long and interfacing with many women, I became a he for she guy.
Okay.
And I support women activities. So today, when I hear certain women speak about fellow women with certain tones and language, it just breaks me down. And as a child of faith, as a Christian, I encourage my fellow Christians that let us protect the faith and be guided by what the faith teaches us to do. Because definitely we will err. But if you know how to err, and if you believe in erring, I don't think you are promoting the faith. And I want to encourage all of us to do it right. Because this country, for me, and I always say it, I love this country. The benefit of becoming a member of Parliament and subsequently a Minister of State offered me opportunity, a privileged one, to travel the globe. And I've witnessed several opportunities. Once upon a time, I was in Belfast, in Northern Ireland, for a peace-building mission, because I happened to be on the Defense and Interior Committee. And this was a Commonwealth meeting. And when we had to tour Northern Ireland to see the communal conflicts that split that community, it really dawned on me that conflicts are not healthy. I've been to Liberia. I've seen what internal conflicts, the damage it can do to our societies. And for a person like me, I would never ever condone violence. If anybody comes up with violence, I'll condemn you. Even if you are my own, I'll condemn you to the hilt. And I've always maintained my stance that democracy is not for violence. And so I would not entertain any fellow who believes that this is what has happened. And what is even worrying is that the gentlemen who were in theater, as has been all over, in new media, post what their actions told us, had effrontery to stand and record and said, we didn't go to beat anybody, we went there to beat the Honorable Hawa Yakubu. That is Hawa Kumsin. It pains me so much, because it tells me that people are emboldened, that they want to destroy our democracy. Democracy is not violence, and I repeat it. So people should learn that wrong is wrong and right is right. And we should not entertain that in this practice. Because like I always say, I lived AFRC, I lived PNDC, I believe in what we are in today. I don't want anybody to promote what is happening in our neighbor's country, and that new media, other world superpowers are weaponizing new media for our youth to believe that such dictatorship is what is good for Africa. No, that is not good for us. I have lived this, and I have witnessed this, and it has enhanced my being. And I'm able to express myself freely, willingly, without any worries. To end, The reason why I make this commentary is that my colleague I did student politics with, an Honorable Hanna Idrisu, he's now a professor in Canada, Professor Odate Wellington. His father was the late General Odate Wellington, who died during the AFRC mutiny. And I say this, when even we had started the democratic dispensation, before the criminal libel law was outlawed, he was on Ghana television. Then we didn't have media pluralism like we have today. And he commented that our former president, President Jerry John Rawlings, was a con man. Do you know he was taken off set, he was invited to the BNI and investigated. And so we have traveled and journeyed far in this dispensation. And some of us believe that where we are today is good for this country.
Right.
So we should maintain it.
Very well. Very well. Let's say good morning to the Honorable Nilante Vanderpoy, National Coordinator, District Road Improvement Program. Good morning, sir. Elvis Dako is also here, editor of the News Center newspaper, newscenter.com. Gentlemen, good of you to join us. Thank you so much. Honorable, I'll throw it to you. But before we go to Ablekuma, let's go to Accra Central. You have some issues there. Some containers growing up there. Just a quick comment on that one, a brief one. I'll play a video so that viewers can see exactly what it is that you're referring to. Which area is this specifically?
This is the middle of the road from UTC towards Kokobot. UTC towards Kokobot. So you see cars coming from Adabraka towards Accra, and then the other side, cars from Accra towards Adabraka. It's an eyesore. It's an eyesore. And let me say this. A year ago, they tried. And what annoyed me most was that I was leaving the constituency around 11 p.m. And I saw people cutting down trees that have been planted there since the days of Osajefo that have come in Nkrumah. This road used to be the main road on which, during visits from foreign heads of state, as a schoolboy, we used to assemble and hoist our flags and to receive people. Until recently, it was the most principal road in Accra. So it's a road that we know. Today, it will take you close to about 1 hour 30 minutes to move from Adabraka to Accra Central because of the congestion in that part of the So during the time of Henry Quarter, when I saw that they were cutting down trees to erect containers like this, I protested. And through my brother Henry called me, together we went, and right there, he got people to demolish all the structures. So I thought that was done. Only for me to get up 3 days today and be confronted with such a thing again at the same place. And the women who are selling the yam, the plantain, and the rest are being driven off, and now containers are being built. So the person has also contacted the regional minister. So the regional minister called me, and then we found out that the mayor of Accra and some people were behind it.
How?
And that's what made me annoyed.
I think the mayor embarked on a decongestion.
That is the issue. That is what is horrible about the whole thing. Because somebody who had just embarked on decongestion, now erecting containers in the median of Kwame Nkrumah Avenue. I've never seen that before. I've never heard that before.
No.
But I don't blame the people doing it. I blame somebody like the regional police commander, who's right in front of his nose, this is being done, and sitting there and looking on. It looks like the Accra Central Police or the Accra Police Regional Commander, even when the plantain and the yam is being sold right in their bedrooms, they will be quiet and look out. Because this is unexpected of any city.
True.
Containers in the middle of a road. You see, when I was seeing the voices of how the women were insulting the president for allowing this, I got mad. Because the president did not know anything about this.
Right.
The president is not involved in this. And so, the regional minister has given the instruction that by tomorrow, these things should be removed from there. And I hope they will respect it. If they don't, I will take one of my drip machines and visit them.
You go and
Because I'm a
demolish them
Ghanaian.
yourself.
I'm a Ghanaian and part of government, and I will not allow such a thing to be done to discredit the government I'm part of. And I'm a Ghanaian and I'm a Ghana Dangwe. I will not allow such nonsense to be done in Accra. I will not allow. It's like you sitting down and looking on and somebody bringing rubbish to your house and you keeping quiet. This is unheard of. I've never seen this before.
So this is a call to the
middle
mayor
of Kwame Nkrumah Avenue. And people are building containers. What? This is it's obscene and I don't want to say it.
Very well.
It's disgusting.
Very well.
And every good citizen, every Ghanaian should condemn this. Why? What is it?
Right. Okay, thank you for that one. We just had to chip that one in because it's a disturbing phenomenon that's coming up.
To have bites at it.
Sure.
Minister,
Well, I'll give you a bite on it. But I need him
will
to, since he has the floor, he should just give us his thoughts on the Ablekuma North violence and the position of the minority demanding the removal of some government appointees, namely Hanna Bisiw and Malik Basintali.
Well, thank you very much. Let me say, the earlier video and the earlier story has unsettled me a bit, but I hope I'll be able to put things right. The truth of the matter is that I, sitting here, I have been a victim of political violence. And as such, I will never condone political violence in any way. My 12 years as a member of parliament wasn't easy. And political violence was one of the reasons why I decided not to contest elections in Odododo again, because I couldn't stand when people are killed, people are maimed, people's lives are destroyed because of elections and voting. So I will not condone any political violence. And what happened at Ablekuma North, I would want us to look at it critically as incident of vendetta more than political violence. Because apart from those incidents, there was no incident at any of the police stations. And I'm happy my brother has just mentioned the fact that what happened, the people have come out to say that they came there principally for Hawa Kumse. Why Hawa Kumse? The question should be asked. Why did they come there not for Brian Champong, Kennedy Japan, or any other MPP operative, but Hawa Kumse? Two, those people involved, why did they target Hawa Kumse? I'll put it back to my brother. Hawa Kumse consistently visited violence on certain group of people in their constituency. Consistently. It led to death. It led to destruction of life. Some people have been incapacitated up to today. If the government she served in had taken measures to punish her and to make people happy that the justice has been served, this wouldn't have happened. You understand? Because of the impunity she exhibited and because she was not reprimanded for the acts she got herself in, certain people have developed hatred and bitterness towards her. So those people will look for any opportunity to visit vengeance on her. Because surprisingly, I don't see what anyone will have in his mind and heart to decide to come there just because of her. And not because of miracles or any other person. To me, the most acerbic MPP communicator today is Miracle, so I thought he would have been but no. He was there, he was conducting his interviews, and then nobody touched him. Why Hawa Kumse? Is it because those people have something against her? Is it not because of the things he has done? And then ask yourself, she herself, when she was going there, did she have in her mind that such a thing will happen? Was she expecting it? And why was she expecting it? You know, the accounts have something that says, "Uju and three susu daye." Okay, so that was there because she wouldn't have had no other person there at the place that had any other weapon on him or her until not the police stations. She had a weapon. She was prepared for war. You understand? 2, when the people asked her to leave the place, if she had not used the pepper spray, do you think anything of sort have happened? So sometimes,
but was it within the rights of these people to ask her to leave?
You know, on election day, anything of the sort happens. I have been to a polling station, just even registration. Then somebody will come. No more chair, she be. I leave. You see, it takes 2 to tango. So when somebody, you can see somebody is pushing you into a confrontation. If you turn around, it is not weakness. It's just because you don't want to get yourself into a confrontation, unnecessary confrontation. You understand? So if she had just moved, there wouldn't have been any consequences as we saw. So sometimes we must ask ourselves certain questions that, did my actions lead to this result? What role could I have prevented this occurrence? So all these are things that we must look at. I feel sad that it happened to her, but then I don't think this should warrant, because the people who are talking, and Bisiw talked based upon what our community has done to her. You understand? And she gave instances. So there's bitterness because she's not being appeased. After all that, nothing has really been done to reprimand our community and to give some satisfaction to Bisiw. So why wouldn't she say that? You understand? So I don't really, what did Basintali say? That should warrant such a thing. Because he said the guy who did the flying will be the new commander of the K5. It's just one of those things we do just to bring tension down and to create that laughter.
But when you know the office you hold and the responsibility placed on you, I think your communication should be in a more responsible.
But what did he say? What did he say?
That an incident of a sort has happened and you seek to trivialize it with your community.
So what post having people posted to create fun and laughter? You see, why are we taking everything like, let me say, Cold War of the sort, that it could trigger something else? He said, oh, this guy, for the way he flew, is going to be the new commander of the K5. This is just a light statement to create fun and when I saw the comment about it, there some people condemned it, but others were laughing. You understand? So I think we should sometimes, our politics should not just be, let me say, hard and rough. Sometimes we should be flexible about certain things. What having been said about these things before? When Nana Akufo-Addo said, me, I laughed because you understand? I don't want to add the others. I laughed. The next time I met him, I said, hey, Nana mienu. You understand?
Right.
So sometimes these things will happen, but let's yes, it is good sometimes to tell the person, oh, Charlie, what you said was above the calf, it's below the belt or this, but next time, Yes, but then to demand that person should, where were they? When Haya Kumsin was defending her firing of gun, did they ask her to resign? Did they ask President Akufo-Addo to remove her? Did they do that? When Brian Champon was standing on a political platform and saying that did they ask President Akufo-Addo to sack Brian Champon? Sometimes some of these things we should be careful because what is agitation for? Something has happened. Let's isolate that incident, act on it, and use it as, let me say, an example to detect. Look, what we saw. So when people are making, my brother is making mentioning Talensi Chiripone. Gomwa here, I was nearly killed. One of my sisters, Aisha, a lady, our Kumsi's own was small. She was dragged on the floor and dumped into a gutter. She had cut all over her body.
Gomwa?
Yes, Gomwa here, by election. People were forgotten. And the NDC supporters were bathed in acid. 2005, the Mankata by-election. When they are mentioning, people mention incidents that suits them. But I'm saying that let's all, as a country, look, say that these things are not good for our democracy, as my brother said. Because look, there is nothing better than democracy. There's no option for us as a country. We'll have our differences, we'll have our petty squabbles, but then we'll have an atmosphere where we can freely express ourselves and enjoy our peace. The other is not an alternative.
Right.
So we should, as a collective, especially the young ones coming, some of us are getting old, we are getting to pension rim in politics, in partisan politics, but the young ones coming should know that such things do not augur well for the future development of our democracy and the peace and the tranquility we enjoy.
Right.
And as such, they should be the main actors in seeking peaceful democratic environment and trying to make by-elections especially become more this. Because I was in Asin South, and let me commend the police. I was in Asin North. You know, the sort of policies and, let me say, decisions taken by the police before, during, and after Asin North made it one of the best by-elections we've had in this country. This particular one, I think the police did well because generally it was peaceful. But for that Hawa Yukumsi incident, and that's why I want us to isolate that incident and say that if it was not Hawa Kumsin, it was Elvis or Seta Champo, would we have had
a
the
journalist
same
was assaulted?
The journalist was assaulted by who? By a policeman.
No, there's a video of some of these men assaulting a journalist. There was a lady, we are not sure who she is, who was also slapped.
As for journalists, I have been a journalist before. As far as I've gone to cover football match, I was beaten. Does it mean we must stop playing football?
Collateral damage.
It happens. Those incidents across the world, journalists have suffered one incident or the other in the course of their duty. It is not right. The world, the international human rights organizations have talked against attacking journalists in the line of their duty. So that one is an issue. I don't think that that person who look like this one.
This is the police.
The police have taken an action against the policeman who did that.
Yeah.
That is it's not right. So those are not. You would generally say that that is what marred the election, because this was just isolated incident. But I'm looking at the main issue that have brought all these discussions, and I think it is proper. Look, I'm saying it here. There was another incident that happened. My investigation have shown that it was not an NDC MPP thing. It was MPP's own internal problem.
Really?
Yes, the issue about Chris. It was Chris' boys and our boss boys.
Really?
But my brother is laughing. He knows. It was Chris' boys and our boss boys that were involved in that control, that thing. But it has now become NDC MPP. Because people thought that the two parties were the ones involved. But people who want to use by-election as the grounds to settle their own internal parties' cause too. And that happened. Because the two of them are all my boys. I've talked to the boys around them, and I've got clear that the main issue in that Chris thing was Chris and Abo problem.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes these incidents will happen. We should isolate those incidents, identify them, and try and resolve the operational difficulties around them, than to condemn the whole by-election and say the whole by-election was violent.
Right.
It was not.
Right. Right. Thank you. Elvis, quick thoughts on first the Accra issue, the containers that are springing up there, and then we'll delve into Ablekuma.
I thought I've said it here before that as a country, we are only playing. We are not serious. We joke so much, only talk.
No action.
No action. As Honorable Lante has said, the mayor of Accra knows about this project. That's why Honorable's accusation of the police is out of order. Because the police is not in charge of planning of a city. City planning is the duty of the city authority. So if the mayor of Accra, who is responsible for the city, is the one planning Accra that way, what can the police do?
But can the police identify such as an illegality and deal with it?
How can you do that? It is only the city authorities' laws that will say this, and they will invite the police. The police does not determine how a city is planned. The city authority, what is happening here is against city rules. It's against us. So police come in because somebody is doing an illegality. But if the city authority says the one doing it, who says it's illegal when it is the authority themselves doing it?
Right.
So if the mayor of Accra knows about it, if we are faulting the police, in this case, I think that the police cannot be faulted. Because if it's any ordinary person doing it, and the mayor of Accra is does not know about it, then that you can blame. But when the mayor of Accra is the one behind the project, and the planning of Accra is in that area, it's in the hands of the mayor of Accra, because the city authority that plans the city.
Right.
And if by their plan they think that they want to redesign Accra, and as part of redesign is to put containers in the median of roads, and they are the one doing the project, what can the police do? The police doesn't plan cities.
So when the mayor of Accra say a kiosk will come and put at the charge office or the police, they will say that and allow.
If the land, if that place is under the control of the city authority, what you should understand, planning a city has nothing to do with the security or police.
Right.
Every single thing about planning of city is about the state authority. The entire area covered by state authority. Whether you can put the kiosk here, you cannot put it there. It's not the police who determine that. So when you see police enforcing action on it's because the city authority has let the police know that what this person is doing is wrong. So come and help us enforce the law. The police does not determine where things are put. So in this case, though it's happening in front of the Greater Accra Regional Police, so long as Honorable is informing us that the mayor of Accra is behind the project, then I think that the police will have little to do. Because the police cannot go and tell the mayor of Accra how to plan Accra.
Right, very well.
So that is what. But see, it's a shame. I passed there just recently, and the women were selling the medal. I think the previous mayor did something. They put these barricades here and here, so the sellers will be in the middle of the barricade so that they don't spill onto the road in itself. I have a problem because even the middle of the road should not be a place for selling. I have a problem. It should not be a place for selling. So for city authority to barricade both sides and create a space in the middle for people to hawk, for me, I have a problem. But for you to now go and drive them out and then now put containers there, that shows the level of our thinking, the kind of people we are appointed to office, and how we all sit down aloof and allow city authorities to destroy our cities, and we don't say anything.
Right.
I've said it. 20 years ago, Accra and Temanko looks well planned than today. Because the number of kiosks, containers, and this we see today around were not in the system those days. Today, places that are supposed to be roads to somebody's house, a container is there. Somebody wrote that has kiosks. All kinds of things are happening. And then we are paying people as city authorities every month, paying them salaries to plan these cities. I've said it that I've gone around and I realized that we are not, as a country, Ghana as a country, we don't want to plan this country. We have no plans. Because with the little places I've been to, I went to China, and every city authority you go to, they have a main hall in the city building. And that main hall has the entire design of the city sitting there.
Right.
Even when the land is not occupied, it's determined that this land, this is the project that has been planned to be there. The entire city is planned, and so they follow what is there. The entire design is sitting there. If you go to Kigali, you enter the city authority. How they want Kigali to look like is in the middle of the building, a big hall, and they will show you this is Kigali. this what you see here is this. Go to AMA, ask them, what is the plan for city authority?
Oh, we have it.
Where is it?
It is. We have.
Current one.
We have.
AMA
It's
has
an
a
old one.
development
I'm talking about current
Yes,
one.
yes.
There's nothing current.
It's not updated.
Yes.
But there is.
The old one you're talking about, we've destroyed it because the places we are not supposed to build, we are
We
built.
have built them.
I will agree with
Right.
you.
We built in places we are not supposed to build.
we need to redesign.
So that's the point.
We need to
So
redesign.
what exists there doesn't actually make any sense anymore because we didn't follow it. We
Yeah.
actually destroyed the whole plan. So you see, and if you go to Southdown, you go to whatever district.
I will not cut you. Do you know something? Today, if you finish, take your cameras to Opera Square and see what is happening there. Opera Square. The only bus terminal we have in Accra. Somebody is building 10-story building there. On the right, we have 10. On the left, we have 8-story buildings. So no bus can make a U-turn there. So the buses are now loading from the street. From there, go to Independence Avenue Girls' School. The space that's supposed to be for a playground for the school children, somebody is putting shops there. Go to Tudu, STC yard.
Right.
The STC yard where we used to board bus to go to Volta region and the rest. Go and see.
A story building.
Shops.
All stores.
We have a serious problem.
It's not that you are now seeing it. I've been telling you every day here that whatever we do shows that we are not a serious country. The AMA's own office today, where it is, used to be a football field.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a playground for people. We turn it and build some Pentagon building and put our AMA office there. So you realize that when it comes to planning of Ghana, so when people dream that Ghana could become Singapore, I say you are just dreaming. It doesn't drop from heaven. It happens based on a plan.
Yeah.
But all our actions in this country shows that we are not envisaging this country to become any nice place. We are building the country to become a proper slum. 20 years ago, you will see several adjoining communities around Accra.
Yeah.
The assumption will be that if all these new settlements around Accra were not there 20 years ago and were serious people, we would have had well-planned environments in those places.
Yeah.
So that if those people are even well established and well planned, one day we could say, okay, we want to redesign Accra to join them so that it becomes a nice place.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the new places that sprang up around us, they are worse off than Accra itself. Go to Tema. The new settlements around Tema, the planning is worse off than the Tema township itself.
There's no planning. There's no planning.
So in terms of us dreaming that Ghana could become like Singapore, Malaysia, and the rest, I always tell people that we are only dreaming because there's nothing we are doing practically
that shows that we want to get there.
We want this country in terms of fiscal planning to look good.
Very well.
That's the point.
Very well.
The election violence. See, first of all, if Honorable says it's only how I come in, I don't think it's right. There are so many people who have been beaten though, but because they are not high profile, people are not talking about, including the NPP's deputy national organizer or something.
That's what I mentioned.
Who has also been beaten.
But that's what he says. It's more of an internal issue.
The Joy FM journalist that was slapped left and right. He wasn't beaten by she wasn't beaten by the police. Several people were beaten, but they are not like known people. The Joy FM is going to a media house to talk about. But several people have been beaten.
Even the party agents.
So we cannot reduce it and say it's only because of how Akumsi. No, the truth of the matter is that see, until we confront these issues and let people understand that this is wrong, it's wrong. Look, from 2008 till now, people who have done elections are more than who have died in elections are more than 20. To 2008, we had 4 people died. 2012, 2 people died. These are just the recorded one. 2016, 1 person was reported dead. There are so many that have not been reported, so we can't capture them. But the one that at least officially has been reported and we can talk about, these are some of the figures. 2020, we had 8 dead. 2021, we went to Techimansab and 2 dead. 2024, 3 dead. Techimanov. So you see, you realize that we are sitting down on this, and as Honorable both of them pointed out clearly. See, this thing has happened to people, and I like the way the Honorable Linda has actually talked about his personal experience. And as I said here last week, you see, when justice is not delivered, retributive justice will always be the case. Because if it happened to him, if he decided not to retire from politics, he himself and his supporters will also want to do it to other people.
Yeah.
And it will continue because those who committed the crime, in actual fact, you cannot find that these people have really been punished. I've enumerated about 20 people who are all dead as election-related violence. I cannot recall a single case of those who killed these people, one person being jailed, that in this election, this person is said to have killed this person, the person has been jailed. I can't get a single case. So you cannot expect people who have gone through this kind of pain, living with the pain, family and friends living with this pain, and you expect that if there's an election and they have the opportunity to also retaliate, they will not. As long as the state is failing to deliver justice to people who are maimed, okay, who suffer injuries, and we think that so long as the election is over, somebody has won, it's over, we cover it up. Every election will have somebody trying as much as possible to retaliate some offense. And the point is that the person does not need to look for the very person who committed the crime. It's an NDC and NPP fight. So long as there's an election and you find the opponent and you think that today is my day, I have to teach the person, you teach the person a lesson. So as long as we sit in this country and we are not willing to deal decisively with people who perpetrate this kind of violence, we should not expect that there will be an election that there will not be violence. Because as long as people have pain, anger in them, they will want to retaliate. And I gave you an example last week that when the Hanna attack happened, one of the justifications of the NDC on social media is that there's a guy that they said Hanna's bodyguards actually assaulted. And they showed the guy's video. And the guy ended up dying. You think that that person is your family member, relative, somebody you know, or is your party member, and the person is attacked and dies out of it. You think that it's easy for you to say, oh, the election is over, so you have forgotten. You can never forget. You also want to do something to an NPP person in retaliation, irrespective of the individual, whether it's the person who committed the crime or not. It is an NDC and NPP fight. It is not about, I'm looking for the very person who committed the offense. So long as the state security had decided to look on and not punish people. And they will not punish people because with time, they realize that dealing with politicians lands you, the security person, in trouble. The politicians will find a way of coming back to punish you, including transferring you to a place where there's no police station and say, go and serve there as a policeman. It happened to the late Antogbe Awuni. He was transferred to a community where there's no police station. A senior police officer transferred to a community where there's no police station because he's been arresting politicians who are flouting the laws.
And then at the point he headed MTTD.
Yes. Such as he was in a community where there was no police station. But they said that is where he's supposed to go and serve. And that is why the police have also decided that if we know that we are fully under the control of the executive, and if we take action against them, they find ways of coming back to come and fight us back. Then the best thing is to leave the politicians to fight among themselves. At the end of the day, when a winner is declared and peace returns, everybody moves on. At least you remain at your position. You are not punished that while they are trying to pay somebody back for the offense, you were the one that stopped it and therefore you should be transferred.
Right.
The police service know that this thing is a major issue in the service. That's why they are afraid to touch people. Because at the end of the day, the politicians will always find ways of coming to attack you. And I must say that President Mahama Kaka, the minister, have to be commended for the announcement that finally the country is planning to establish an independent police complaints commission. Some of us have called for this institution for long, that to curtail the control of the politicians over the police, we need to give them a body that serves as a deterrent. That if you go and do the bidding of a politician, the politician cannot save you because there's an independent body that will deal with you drastically. This body has been lacking for a long time, so the police don't find any protection. If this body exists, and you ask a policeman to go and do something, tell him, no, when I am going to be punished by the Independent Police Complaints Commission, you will not be there to defend me. This is an independent body. This is not the internal police
the PIPs,
body.
the PBS.
And this is not the police council, which is largely appointed by the president. But these are people who have been appointed to head an independent institution, and they will not give room for anybody to come and control them that easily. And I think that that's a step in the right direction. One of the most important things we need to give the police some freedom from politicians. So the minister said within 6 months, this will be established. I will pray for the minister and the president that within the 6 months, this body should come into effect. I think the police need it urgently, so that the way any politician, even an assemblyman who belongs to a party whose party is in power, commands the police commander around, and the police commander cannot do anything. I hope after that we'll go ahead and also do another change of making politicians the head of security councils at the districts and the regions. I don't see how a politician should be the head of DISEC or the head of music. I think it weakens the power of the security agencies to act in some of them. And it is reason why even the fighters against Galamsey will struggle. Because there's still political interest in Galamsey. But the authority that controls in the district, that all the security have to report to as their boss is a politician. So I believe that with some of these changes coming up, I pray that we can do some of these changes so that we can safeguard ourselves for some of this. Because where we are heading towards, just 19 police stations, less than 7,000 people voted. And we look at what happened. So clearly, we are not safe in this country. And if over 20 people are dead from 2008 till now, we cannot point to one single successful prosecution. Aside all the massive violence that has happened, I have always ask yourself up to today, those that are even supposed to be compensated, ask whether they have been compensated by the state. And you expect that those people and their families should not retaliate when there's an election, they will. So until we begin to do the right thing, nothing will be right. If we don't do the right thing, nothing will be right. And as I've told you, we talk in this country, we write nice things on paper, but implementation is zero. And I give you the fiscal planning, and a lot of the same things we want to do. How do we pass a law against vigilantism in 2019? And the following year, 8 people died in an election. And 5 years down the line, we have not run a single successful prosecution of anything that has happened in that election. And we expect the thing to end. It cannot end.
Very well, very well.
Thank you. Let me say this. Quickly. We thank God that at least yesterday, the IGP presented the report
on the 2020 and 2024 elections
for election violence to the president, and I'm sure certain things will come out.
He should make it public.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure the president will make it public. But I also want to just say something on this. I don't like this narrative. You see, I agree that chief executives of assemblies are supposed to be chairman of security committees. But you are a professional policeman. The chief executive did not put that uniform on you. You write sit-reps to your institutional head. So if anything is happening, and that chief executive himself is an hindrance to the peace and development of that jurisdiction, it must feature in your sit-rep. I don't like people taking excuses for their own inefficiencies and incompetencies. You understand? When people are given responsibility, and that's the problem we have in this country, when people are given responsibility, instead of standing there and knowing that out of the 30 million Ghanaians, God has favored you and you have given this responsibility. So the honors of is on you to prove to the God who chose you that you are faithful and you deserve of that.
But would you agree that there's fear of victimization also?
No, you see, I have seen policemen who have been able to withstand that distance and excelled. It is when you prove to the person that you are so amenable, you are so vulnerable, you can be influenced. But when that chief executive knows that Elvis Nilante said, Nana Tufo is a very disciplined professional policeman, he respects you for it. He has been a regional minister before. Ask him. Last time I was at his place, he told me about something. I mentioned a policeman or something, and he told me, this man is a professional. You understand? Those people are also within the service. And in spite of influences and things, you think, I've seen policemen who, me, myself, talking to them, and I say, "Oh, Charlie, just have this for." I say, "No, I won't take it." You understand?
Yeah.
There have been policemen at certain checkpoints who don't take bribe, whilst others take. So it is a human being. It is you. Everywhere we find ourselves, every sitting here is an editor. So he has a story. That story is of public interest, and I'm the let me say the one behind the story. Then I come and talk to him, and then because of me, he kills that story, which is for the general good.
Yeah, yeah.
Then it is he, Elvis, who is weak.
Exactly, yeah.
And not because I have that overbearing influence over him.
Very well, very well, very well.
So it is something, this narrative must change so that people take position and be responsible for their own actions in those positions.
Very well. Let me take a few quick messages. Hawa Kumsin's case is just one out of the violence unleashed on journalists, the MPP Deputy General Secretary, and even the MPP parliamentary candidate. So what have those others done to warrant a retaliation? Let's desist from such justifications. This is Pascal Dunyo from Afife. This one says, good morning, Nana. It is shameful for anybody to say they came to Ablekuma North because of Hawa Kumsin. Supporters of Hawa are lacing their boots for a revenge. This is Ahmed from Nima. Mariatu in Tamale says, maximum respect to the former Eastern Regional Minister. He speaks with decorum that reflects in him very well as a responsible elderly man and a good Christian. I say a very good morning to him. Ali Musa in Kaswa says, Ablekuma North chaos, the NDC must be blamed. Why? It was something premeditated as the place was packed by NDC known thugs. Let us be careful. Okay, that's what you say. Those are your words. Master Planner Jr., a policy analyst in Kintampo, says the MPP is not a weak political party, just that we believe in democracy and the rule of law. The NDC cannot take that as weakness. We are watching them closely. The 5K men and 3K women are all a form of vigilante groups. We are watching closely and carefully strategizing, a speedy recovery to Honorable Hawa Kumsin and all the victims. Okay, that's what you say. Honorable Champon, briefly on the containerization of the Independence Avenue.
Indeed, it saddens me. Because I've walked in that neighborhood, the central district, business district of the city of Accra. And like Nee said, as children, as children,
See, that's where you grew up.
you enjoy
Ganyobi. This is Kwawu Ganyobi.
If your parents are traders, you cannot say you won't go to Okanshi, you cannot say you won't go to Mokola.
Right.
Because that is what they do.
Exactly.
And you would have to get in there with your parents and you get to know the neighborhood. And most of us grew around Kolwoko. Kwawus used to live in Kolwoko because Kantamanto was where we were doing this Achimota sandals, cross sandals.
Yeah.
And they were mostly manufactured and built by Kwawu people, and we all lived in Kolwoko. And it ran all down through Abodwe through to Koligwono. But that is that aside. My pain is that as a country, it's as if we are not learning, like Elvis was saying. This is purely city planning. This does not even just square off on the mayor, because there are institutions that we spend money on who must feed the mayor technically as how the city must be planned. And so we have professionals who are in the assembly and we are paying them. So if the mayor is disrespecting them, then we understand it. But like Nee said, now the mayor is behind it. So who am I to challenge Nee? But my worry is that this needs to be stopped because it is a historical destination for Ghana. Just as I was coming here this morning, I heard on your network, radio, a launch being done by the Mayor of London to Ghana. And I know Mayor of London will not partner any other city apart from Accra or Kumasi. But these are the largest cities of Ghana. So if it's Mayor of London is doing something, this is Accra. And forgive my language. It's painful. I cannot just sit here and say how I knew Accra. It was a place I walk. You understand? Decency is something you can't take away from. The filth alone is killing.
Right.
The filth alone is killing. But I want to tell you this morning that, you see, we learned something in Parliament. This is unparliamentary. I cannot say that what he said is a lie. It's the biggest untruth he had said. It is not the problem between Nikwe Chris and Abo, my boys. Let me tell you. No. I need to say so.
I need to take a break.
Just looking at your footage, your footage. The same characters who were beating me were the same people who went to beat.
Very well. We'll come back and finish it.
But that is Nakaboy said no.
We'll come back.
The man who died like a bull, to head.
We'll come back and finish it.
He was standing there looking at
Breakfast Day. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap it up on this conversation. Thank you for staying with us. This is the News Review segment on Breakfast Daily, live on ChannelOne TV. And we're wrapping up the conversation on Ablekuma North and the violence that's characterized the rerun of some 19 polling stations there. The show is interactive, so let's hear from you, all right? Send in your comments and contributions via the WhatsApp number. We're live on YouTube, on Facebook. You can drop a comment there as well. Honorable Champion will wrap up.
Thank you very much.
On this for me.
It is not for nothing that we have code of conduct. And it is for us to build our institutions. That is why we're not code of conduct. So if I erred today, knees in the saddle, should he also err? If we continue to err, then we are making, forgive my language, nonsense of the code of conduct. So I agree that if somebody did wrong yesterday, we should not repeat that wrong. But let us look at the matter contextually. Kaswa has become notorious for such activities. So I'm not surprised that the then MP, who became the minister, Honorable Howard Kumsin, gave warning shots. She didn't shoot at anybody. Warning shots are offered to disperse would-be criminal activity. So I'm not speaking to defend her for the actions in the glare protection of people. But what we saw and what we've been analyzing, if it's anything to go by, it tells you that on the ground, what is happening on the ground is different from what we are being told.
So, our Kumsin had a weapon. She shot. She was not arrested. Now call you. Just because the name on
the distort in thought process.
The firearm license was wrong, spelled wrong. Was put in cells when she was even breastfeeding.
Honorable Champion.
So Ni is complaining of selective justice. I have no issues to that. If selective justice is going on, we condemn it. We have to condemn it. So are we saying that how Kumsin did it under NPP administration, she wasn't punished? Nobody called her for punishment. So we should continue. Then we are following what Elvis is telling us, that we only talk in this country. We don't walk the talk.
Right.
What enhancement are we offering the democracy we are in? For me, that is my biggest concern.
Right.
That we are all not the same. This hand of mine, the fingers I'm showing to you, are not the same. Some may be reasonable, some may not. But it doesn't mean we cannot flow.
Right.
So we do our best. That's what I talked about, code of conduct. So when Brian Champion was on a campaign platform and was making noise, and people go to write on their post, it's a post, fine. But when you are being paid by the taxpayer, and we are using the taxpayers' money to pay you, you ought to act responsibly.
Right.
I don't endorse the things my colleague, my former colleague, Honorable Brian Champion said on the platform. I won't say it. And I don't see the wisdom in saying that. Because the people decide. You will just run in your mouth.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make it right for a person who we are paying to come and tell us and go and put those posts. Then it becomes as if, what is the essence of building institutions? So I would never support that kind of narrative.
Right.
But at the same time, Elvis made a point. I have become head of a security body before in times past. It is not for nothing why the president of the republic is called the commander-in-chief
of the
Ghana Armed Forces. And so it runs, it's administrative.
Right.
And so it is not just a creation that political heads must be put as head of security. And for experience, if you go through the empowerment, that act that empowers them to put them there, co-chairpersons are the security persons.
Right.
So for instance, in a region, the regional command of that police is the co-chairperson. And even though of RECSEC, and then if it is MUSEC or DISEC, the commander or the divisional commander or the district commander within that catchment area is a co-chair. And more often, the chair just administratively chairs conduct. But if it comes to discussions and operations in meetings, it is clearly professional. And they do it. And mind you, it's a council. And so it is not the chairperson's decision. It is a collective decision of members representing the interests that they are there for. So these things must be put out in context so that we appreciate it. Because look, in building our democracy, we are learning. And if you don't give it out well, like today, people are weaponizing some country's leader, and he says we are just beating about the bush here. I always fight that statement. I always say it's youthful exuberance. That's what I'll say to that.
Very well. Thank you. Honorable Van Apoy, a final minute on this Ablekuma North, and then we come.
No, there's nothing much. I think that, as I've said, sometimes I fear for our democracy and the level of violence and impunity that is. But I think it is not a hopeless case. As a country, we are blessed with people who always, majority of the people always eschew violence. It's just a minority. And if the majority of us will decide to do what is right in the interest of the state and the country, I think we'll get there. That after 2024 and after this by-election, we'll be given another opportunity to right the wrongs of the past and take a step. Like all that we are saying, if people had misconducted themselves, people have done what they are not supposed to do, let the Lord deal with them.
Very well.
And once those examples are set, it will deter others from taking the law into their own hands in the next election. Because if we don't do that, even now, I'm scared for Akwetia. If we don't show certain signs from now, I'll be too scared for Akwetia. And me sitting here, I wouldn't take the decision to be there. And I don't think my brother said will want to be there, because Akwetia has always been a flashpoint in Ghana elections. You understand? It's been there every time. And because that constituency has that character already, and because of what has just happened, the whole by-election Akwetia is going to assume another dimension. And it will take strong hands, and it also take cool heads to be able to bring down the tension in both political operators, and also the strong hands to maintain their professional discipline in telling somebody, you can't do this, you can't be here, you can't do that.
Right.
That's the only thing we can do to have the peace.
Right. Thank you. Elvis.
What we should see what is happening as danger, and as we talk about Akwetia, and reason Akwetia should be important, aside past issue, is that Galamsey is attracting a lot of criminals from our neighboring countries into the Galamsey area. There are reports of people who are now hired as security to protect the Galamseyers being rebels or former rebels from some of our neighboring countries, as people being engaged into this. And if we look at security seizures of drugs and money in obscure places in this country, it should tell you that if we don't address these issues with firm decisions, the possibility of these groups infiltrating into our elections, because that is where power is. If Galamseyers want to continue Galamsey the way they want, all they need is to make sure that whoever becomes leaders in this country, they influence their election. If criminals want to run drugs and everything to this country, all they need is to pump their money into who gets elected. And one of the ways they can do this is to finance this kind of vigilante groups to disrupt and make sure that wherever things will not favor them, things are destroyed, and wherever things favor them, they will protect it and make sure that the people they want to become our leaders become our leaders. The moment we get there, we should know that we are doomed. And that is the reason we must do everything possible to make sure that what has happened at Ablekuma should not be permitted to happen in Akritia and should not be permitted to happen in 2028. Because if you combine the issues I've raised, the drugs that are being seized and the ones that we cannot seize that are going through, and the fact that Galamsey, no matter what we are doing, is expanding, and reports are emerging that people with questionable characters from neighboring countries are now being hired as security to protect Galamsey concessions. We are joking if we don't take this issue seriously, because the possibility for them to use the monies they are making from these illegalities to influence elections, to get their favorite elected, so that they can continue to do what they are doing in a larger scale is high. And that is what has destroyed many countries in the world. And we should not get there. But we are in a dangerous situation.
Right. Honorable Vanderpoy, the 1 cedi fuel levy has taken effect. Should we be concerned? We've seen fuel prices go up already.
Well, I think all of us sat here and we had a discussion and we agreed that it's a good move. And I'm very happy that day my brother said it's a good move if that will continue to make the economy better, if it will make the prices of fuel stay where it is or even lower, and it will make us have 24/7 electricity. That's that we all said. And I think it was suspended for a reason. If it is coming into effect, I thank God, because it will help us be able to raise the necessary revenue to be able to take care of the debts that accrue out of our power supply, and also be able to help government meet the cost differentials in bringing the fuel to power our generators. Having said that, what I would say is that I think as a country, I'm happy President Mama created a Ministry of Energy and Green Transition. He has also created a Ministry for Sustainability. I've just come back from the Upper East region, and the way I was beaten by the sun, and I was told this is even a milder time, and it gets to a time when it can hit 45. So I think that one of the best things John Jinapa will be looking at are how to move faster with our energy transition, go to green energy, with the abundance of sun we have in places like Winneba and Bolga and Wa and the rest. How we'll be able to take advantage of those natural sources of energy to be able to make us more dependent on that and reduce our dependency on fuel energy, so that Ghanaians will have some sort of relief. Secondly, I'm saying this: if this 1 cedi is going to help us be able to avoid the unfortunate situations of Dumso, I think every Ghanaian will be happy to pay. Every Ghanaian will want to live and have light 24/7. Every Ghanaian will want to make sure that if he pays, he buys the electricity, and he will be able to enjoy it without any interruption. Because the annoying part of the system is that when you have bought it for an emergency or for something very important and then the light goes off, it's most annoying. You have a program, you buy power, and then the cost of the program lights go off, then you now have to go to a generator. You understand? It's most annoying and inconveniencing. So I think that we are happy, people are happy, that the promise and the pledge that this will help us avoid a possible doomsday and be able to also take care of some of the legacy debts that we've had at the energy sector should be. My prayer is that it will work. Because I see it as an innovative and a very, let me say, important and direct source of revenue generation to be able to meet these demands. And I hope that it will generate what we expected, and what will be generated will be used for the purpose for which it's being generated.
Very well. Honorable Champon, one CD fuel levy. If I mean it will be used for what we are told it is for, hey, we will throw our hands in the air and rejoice because then our power will be on. But there are concerns that it's actually to make up for revenue shortfalls due to the scrapping of some taxes.
When it had been introduced, I said, and no, it's not lying. I said, oh, it's early day for the government, so let's give them room. But they developed cold feet because people started saying they didn't consult.
Right.
So they started consulting. Now, during the consultation and its implementation now, the narrative has changed. And my pain for my good brothers and friends in government is sometimes we don't run our mouth too much before we succeed. I remember the current finance minister, who I started parliament with, say that you don't tax your way into troubles. And on the floor of parliament, the current energy minister said that it is only a smart and intelligent government who will come up with such a policy. Today, the mathematics is there. They say the sweetness of the pudding is in the eating. There's an 8% increase in the product. And so you can tell us that that is the most intelligent and smart way in the exigencies, because you had dropped prices from Statistical Service and the Bank of Ghana. Our economy is doing well, there's stability. So this is the period that the people must feel the impact of the policies the government is implementing. Now, if these adds up to the taxes which have been introduced all together, cumulatively, there's no windfall for the Ghanaian. And so I do not see where people are going to be happy because prices haven't dropped. So when I listen to the Ghana government statistician, he's trying to encourage consumers and retailers to reduce prices because production cost has gone down. But you ask yourself, with this 8% increase, is production cost going to be down? Are we going to get our consumers enjoy the windfall that we were expecting for them? And so government must go back to the drawing board and look at what it needs to do. For me, in opposition, I won't praise government.
Right.
Because government is going in circles. It's not telling us the reality and the truth. If you say this and then it turns out to be something else, and expectantly, you know, the fuel pricing is always organized in fortnightly.
Right.
And so the first window of this month happened in the 2nd of July. The pump price was around 12 point some pesos. Today, that was for gasoline, that is a petrol. And diesel was around 13 points. Today, petrol is hovering around 13 plus. No, it's still 12 plus, it's not got into 13. But diesel, which used to be 13 plus, is gone beyond 13 and is now around 14.
14.3.
My pain is that the farmers who are using tractors are going to pay high. The retailers who are going to sell the produce are going to pay high. The commuters, the transporters who are also going to come complaining. So you see a negotiation between the Ministry of Transport and then transport owners very soon. So we are always running around. It's good to work, but it shouldn't be always the situation where we say one thing and then we have to go and do something else. This is my pain. And I believe that government will walk the talk. When they tell us that they are smart, when they tell us they are intelligent, they don't take us on this pathway. It's very, very, very despicable. Let us walk the talk so that we can continue to praise you. But if I praise you and I go home and then I'm dying, then I don't need to praise you.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Me?
Thank you, Honorable. Elvis, what's the fuel levy? You would think that with all the engagement we are being told has happened, it would have been an open day for the government. But there's still some level of resistance. The commercial transporters say they want to increase their fares by about 30% following the implementation of this 1 cedi fuel levy. Your thoughts?
I think I've always cautioned here that when we leave the politics out of things, and we let people understand the reality of things, it helps all of us. But when we try to do politics with things, it has a problem. See, by these fuel prices, the government itself has created a deficit for President Mahama. Because President Mahama, even before this, when the announcements were made and there was agitation, he met stakeholders and he said, oh, the 1 Ghana increment will not immediately reflect in fuel prices. It's reported, it's on City Online, June 24. They said that President Mahama said this thing will not immediately have any impact on fuel prices. What have we seen? Immediately yesterday, every fuel station increased price. So you see, when people are in government, you see, they've deceived the president. And the president has gone to say something, and somebody can refer to say, oh, the president lied. That's why I said that let's look at communication as key of governance. The moment you want to, you see, you can say the thing today and tomorrow you'll be exposed. Because it's recorded that this is what you said. This is the reality.
And comparatively, it always come back to bite.
It always come back to bite you. So you see, appointees should stop deceiving our president. If the truth is there, tell the truth. Ghanaians will be more receptive to the truth. There will be resistance when you tell me that, oh, don't worry, the thing will come, but we are managing systems very well, so there will be no increase in fuel prices. Even when we add a levy, the fuel price will not go up immediately. And at the very day the thing takes effect, the fuel price shoots up by almost 10%. Why wouldn't people resist it? You understand? It's about the communication. That people will be understanding. If we add it, the OMCs are just going to transfer it directly to you, the consumer. So accept some increment. People will not, the resistance will be different. Do you understand it? This thing happened on the back of transport operators pressured to reduce their fares by 10%. Then the following week, bam, the announcement was made. The transport operators was about then there was the essence of you understand it. The benefit of governance where you say you have achieved is for it to benefit the people. But if you are giving with left and you are taking it with the right, it's not the way to go. You understand it? We should understand that, see, I've said if we will take too much politics out of a lot of things. And people understand if we want to finance this country, we have to go through pain. And we must accept certain things whether we like it or not. We will be okay. Today, the price, where the fuel price is just about 1 cedi less than what it was in December 2024. If in the event that global fuel price starts going up,
now we're back to square one.
We are even going to be worse than square one. And if the city starts nodding its head and said, and it has already started nodding its head, from 10.3, it's going to 10.4 after the end of last week. After the end of yesterday, it started doing like this. I want to go. I want to go. That's what the city has started.
It's the CDL is that.
Oh, that's what it's but you know that. So you see, we should tell people that look, in terms of things, it's not about NDC and NPP.
There should be honesty in the communication.
It comes to affect everybody. And you see, I hear Bank of Ghana is having an emergency MPC meeting today. I believe this is the reason. Because the way the city is going, the IMF are now come to give us a warning. That the amount of money we are using to support the city is too much. Okay? Because the whole of 2023, total amount government pushed into the city was $1 billion to support the city. They say the government doesn't know how to manage the economy. That is why we didn't invest our reserves into it. And the city was shaking and running. 2024, election year, the government was trying to manage. By October, when they realize the elections is coming, they have to do something for the elections. They took 2 billion of our reserves to go and support the city. Now the city started dropping from 16 to 14.7 in December. And they were so, whether the government like it or we'll kick them or we'll kick them away. Then when the new government came, the 2 billion was still having an effect. So the appreciation was going. Then they realized that, oh, as it is, we also have to do the same thing. Then they also pumped 1.4 billion just for the first quarter. We don't even have the second quarter figure. Just for the first quarter, $1.4 billion to support the city. And they were here shouting, oh, we are managing the economy well. My brother, pumping reserves into supporting your city is an economic policy,
right.
but in reality, it's unsustainable.
Yeah.
And that's what the IMF has come to wonder. If the previous year, the entire forest intervention is 3 billion, and just in 3 months, you are putting 1.4 billion, it's not sustainable.
Very
so
well.
we should stop it. We
Very
should
well.
reduce it.
Very well.
What it means is that if we are to obey the IMF, okay, and reduce the intervention, what it means that the cedi will start rising, depreciating.
Yeah, and then the dollar will
because
rise.
the point is that so long as traders cannot get enough money, there's problem.
Yeah.
I think yesterday you say some traders are complaining that they asked for the dollar
Elvis,
and for about a week.
We'll have to leave it here.
For about a week, they are not getting the dollar, and that they have to be out going to the allergies and co. What this means is that if we take away all the politicization of economic issues and we let people understand the reality, if today government come out and say we think the real value of the cedi should be 30 cedis to the dollar, and Ghanaians buy into it, and that will be the real value, and to manage the system, bring some stability, and we will not need to be investing our forests into it, our reserves into it, but we can manage it, and we all accept it. We will adjust our life towards it.
Right.
But when we want to use systems to do things, and then reality is catching up with
Elvis,
us. The point is, and the governor said it 3 days ago.
He said we shouldn't go to Zamrama.
He said that the whole entire economy, our biggest problem is the commodity prices.
Right.
For now, all the inflows we are talking about and proud of is because gold prices are going up, it's because cocoa prices are going up. In case they start dropping,
Unfortunately,
our reserves will suffer.
Unfortunately, we have to leave it here, but thank you so much. Elvis Darko, Neil Ante Vanderpoy, Sete Champon. It's been great having you on the show. I am Nana Tufo Boateng. This has been the News Review segment, but Breakfast Daily continues after this.